Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia. And today we will be talking about episode 2 of season 2 called Crossroads, aired October 14th, 1998. And
The synopsis is
Dawson gets in trouble with Joey when he reads an entry in her diary about her true feelings about his fantasy life of filmmaking. Meanwhile, Dawson is so self-involved with repairing his love life that he forgets Pacey's 16th birthday. As a result, Pacey, who also failed his driver's ed test, decides to throw himself a birthday party. Back, Annie's older brother gets a job at the Ice House restaurant. Meanwhile, Abby begins to become a bad influence for Jen by taking her out to meet guys and drink. Also, Gail confides in Grams, while Mitch confides in a childhood friend about their troubled marriage. We start the episode like we've had before many times with something playing on Dawson's TV, but this time, him and Joey are not watching it. Instead, they're making out in his bed. They do this until they realize...
gross.
Yeah. They do this until they realize the TV is turned off by Dawson's dad, with his mom sitting right next to him in the doorway.
That was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. They both cannot believe what they just saw. Dawson tries to lighten the mood by asking them, "You remember Joey, right?"
I mean, that was a good line.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then the theme song plays, and then afterward, we see Pacey in his driver's ed class where he is the only student who didn't pass his test, and it was just by 1 point.
Well, and then this is where we learn he doesn't have his license.
Yep.
Remember all season one, or some of season one, he was driving.
Mm-hmm.
And I questioned that if he had it. Well, now we learn he doesn't have it.
Yeah. And I don't know why they waited so long.
To tell us, I don't know. Yeah. And I don't get it because his dad and his brother are both police officers. So I don't get why he's allowed to just drive around.
I know.
With no license.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they supposed to know the law?
Yeah, but they don't pay attention to him enough to even know what he's doing.
Okay, but you don't go outside or look outside and see your car is missing?
I guess not. We know that Pacey tried to take Doug's cop car before he crashed it instantly, but
I just don't get it.
I think Doug and his dad are just really irresponsible.
Well, they shouldn't be police officers.
I know.
They're supposed to be protecting the town.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to let someone who doesn't drive around.
I guess. I don't know.
Does that sound right to you?
No, but so Pacey can basically do whatever he wants and nobody pays attention.
And I guess he doesn't really get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they never told us what his dad, like his punishment or anything was from his dad. He just said that his dad...
he did say that his dad gave him hell about the...
Yeah, but apparently that's it. Did he get grounded or anything?
No, he didn't say that, but...
Exactly. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
He just said something like,
mm-hmm.
I don't know what. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, this show just really doesn't mention a lot of things. Like, we don't know how long Dawson and Joey were friends for,
Or Dawson and Pacey.
Yeah, so we have no background for anything or anybody.
No. It doesn't. I just think they just go by each episode, they write it.
Yep.
And then they forget what they wrote. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Pacey is really bummed out about failing his test of all days because today is his birthday. He mentions this to the teacher, hoping she'll let it slide, but she doesn't.
And then that sucks to take it on your actual birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you fail, that ruins your birthday forever.
Mm-hmm. And then the next scene, Mitch is lecturing Dawson about sleeping with Joey and giving him facts about teen pregnancy.
That was really funny.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, Joey...
Which is weird because when he was dating Jen, who slept with other people, they didn't give him a hard time. But now that he's dating Joey, they're going to start pressuring him.
Right.
And, give him the talk. Shouldn't they have done that when he was dating Jen too?
Yeah, I think it's because Joey's always constantly in his room, maybe.
Wasn't Jen when they were dating?
Not like Joey, because Joey is randomly in his closet sometimes, so she's always there somehow. Even if we can't see her, she's still there. You know what I mean?
Yes. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
You would think that, his first girlfriend, you would have had some kind of talk with him, but they didn't. They just let it all slide until Joey.
Yep.
Which he was obsessed with Jen too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like there's a difference.
Right.
As in who he likes more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if Jen wanted to sleep with him, I'm sure he probably would have.
Yeah.
So why didn't they give him the talk? That's what I don't get. Why only for one girl?
I don't know. The parents in this show just
They
don't
don't
pay
know what they're
attention too
doing.
much.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So meanwhile,
No, and Dawson's parents are supposed to be the good parents.
Right. So meanwhile, Joey arrives at the house, taking the door for the first time.
First time ever.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she knew how to enter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's walking until Gail stops her and, like Mitch, talks to her about sex and pregnancy and gives her a few books about it.
Okay, wasn't that so weird?
Yes.
Because she doesn't have a mom, but she has a sister who would be more than happy to talk to her about everything.
Yep.
And even, even Bess has tried to. So she has a sister to go to. And Joey would feel more comfortable going to her sister. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Instead of your boyfriend's mom.
Right.
Like, yes, I get you, she's kind of your second mom. But I would, I just think you should go to Bess, your sister.
Right. Yeah.
Which I am sure she's thinking the same thing. I have a sister
Mm-hmm.
who knows all about this.
Yep. So Dawson walks out and notices this, his mom talking to Joey, and quickly tells his mom they have to get to school.
Yeah, but he should have, like, taken the book or something. Like, that's what I was, like, waiting for. To be like, just, like, get rid of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he didn't. He just let Gail give Joey, hey, here, don't forget the book. Like, Dawson, step in. That's your mom. It's one thing if it was Joey's mom giving her the book, but it's your mom. Step in and protect. See, he's not a good protector. He should have taken the book.
Yeah, he just kept thinking about
He just
getting her out of
and
there.
then he was like smiling. Cut the smile and take the book. I know you don't agree.
No, it's not that. It's just, he was just like thinking about like getting her out of there. He wasn't thinking about like the whole book. He just like
Well,
wanted.
he should have just pushed her out of the way and just.
Yeah, he wanted to be
Well, he
removed.
didn't.
From
He let
situation.
Joey take the book.
Mm-hmm. Well, she probably never read the books, but
He should have. He should have been like, she doesn't need it, and just went on.
yeah.
Like, just take the book from her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is your mom.
Yeah. Now at Jen's, she's still in bed, and if she doesn't get up soon, she'll be late for school. Her grandma tries getting her out of bed by giving her 5 minutes and starts singing. I guess, yeah.
I didn't really need the scene, did you?
No,
It didn't do anything for me.
no. I mean, that's like, I guess, the start of Jen's.
But I was gonna say depression, but she was doing that the last episode.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like fully set in, like,
That he's gone.
well, no, I think it like started with her grandfather's passing.
That's what I'm saying. That he's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I think she's in the like the depression phase.
How much she lived in
stage.
New York? How much did she know him? And he's been like that for 2 years. So she didn't really know him. I mean, she basically just re-met her grandma. So how much could she know about her grandpa to really truly be that depressed over him?
Maybe just who she remembers him as when she was little.
It doesn't matter.
Like she's fully like grieving the person that she used to know now that he's gone.
But did she really know him?
Well,
She
sounded
lived
like
that busy life in New York.
well, when she was little, it sounded like she was there every summer with her grandparents. And
Then what happened?
then she became a teenager and then stopped going there.
Exactly. So she doesn't really know him.
Yeah, I'm just saying from before, that's who she's grieving.
But see, that's what I don't like
What?
is when people cry over someone passing and you weren't there for their life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about other people.
Yeah.
That's what drives me crazy is do not grieve over someone you were not around for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to be around while they're here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't want to see a tear from your eye because you weren't there for them
Mm-hmm.
like other people were. So, I don't understand the scene. Like, why is she so upset? Because she wasn't around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't just see the person when you're younger and then, oh, now I'm going to agree when I'm 10 years later. No, you weren't there for that time. So you don't know that person.
Right. So back at school, Pacey tells Dawson he failed his written driver's test today, of all days. Now, Dawson's not fully listening.
Yes, and once again, the idiot doesn't get what today is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's not listening, keeps going back to his parents, talking to him and Joey about sex. Pacey interrupts him and says to Dawson that there's really nothing you have to say to me. Dawson isn't getting the hint about Pacey's birthday being today, so he tells Dawson that he thinks he hears Joey calling him and leaves.
Okay, see, he's not a good friend.
Right?
Do you think Dawson is a good friend?
No, especially this episode, no.
No. Say happy birthday, idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying call Pacey an idiot. I'm talking about the idiot,
Right.
Dawson.
Yep. Later on, Pacey joins Jen by sitting down next to her on the pier. He's still bummed out about Dawson forgetting his birthday, and Jen notices this right away, that something's wrong.
I like their scene together.
Yeah, me too. He tells her he has a bad case of the Molly Ringwalds today. I thought that was funny. This makes Jen go
Yeah,
through...
then she's like, which movie?
Yeah, go through the list of movies the actress has been in and narrows it down to...
And then waits for his reaction.
Yep, 16 candles where everyone forgets her birthday. Jen tells him happy birthday, making her the first person who's told him today. She obviously knows that Dawson and Joey are so caught up in each other that they forgot his birthday.
So I think that would have been a good point to also point out that Dawson didn't do anything for Jen's that we saw.
Right,
Remember?
Yeah.
All of a sudden she turned 16 and nothing was said or done.
Yeah, I mentioned that before. Like, he would have made a big deal out of it, but we didn't see that.
Yeah. And so, like, here again, like, it's Pacey's birthday now. And
Still nothing.
yeah, so clearly Dawson just doesn't care and he's not a good friend to anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they both say that they're happy for the couple, but also not.
Okay. Jen is not happy for them. And Pacey even says, he goes, you're not happy for them.
Right, yeah. They're just, like, lying about it.
Well, I think Pacey's like, finally they got together.
Right.
But Jen, on the other hand, is like, no, I still want him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
So no, she's not happy.
So Jen tells Pacey to forget them and celebrate his birthday. He breaks the fourth wall again, saying he's going to get his own storyline
I know.
and not be Dawson's sidekick.
Why did they have to say that?
Well, I thought it was funny.
They break the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah, but in different ways.
But yeah, I call it that. I'm like, he gets a storyline.
Mm-hmm. He's cheered up thanks to Jen, but she still feels low. And then now at school during gym class, they're outside where Jen is picking up dirty towels off the bleachers that the football team used. Abby is back and gloats to Jen about how she got out of participating in gym by writing a note saying that she has a condition called pelvic liposis.
Okay, so first, they're in gym class right now.
Right.
And the football players are playing or like practicing.
I don't know.
That's like an after school or before school activity or, practice. Not, I have never, okay, never would you do it like during, because you're in class. Everyone is in a class. You're not practicing.
Yeah, I don't know why they do this, yeah.
It's the same thing as when they were playing basketball in gym and then
The cheerleaders,
cheerleaders were in practice. No, you were in class. It would have been one thing if in gym they were playing football because we did that.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody participated. And I could see then you would be like, well, I want to get out of playing football. But to just be like, oh, the football players are practicing. No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No. Yep, so Jen thinks her condition is serious, but Abby made it up. It looks like making up conditions is something her and Andy have in common. Did you notice that?
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. So Abby put it on a doctor's stationery pad that she stole.
Well, and then she just made it up.
Yeah.
Because Jen's like, what is that? And she's like, I made it up.
Right. Yeah,
like, what is up with making up all these? And how is nobody asking what that is?
Well, it's 98, so it's not like they can just like look it up on Google really quick.
No, but wouldn't you just ask her, well, what is this? Like, is it something serious?
Maybe they don't want to like get like too in her business, like have it be too personal. Like, I don't know.
Okay, our teachers would ask us what they were nosy. For all of my teachers out there, you were nosy. So you would ask, what is that?
Right.
Wouldn't yours?
I don't know.
Yeah, we had the
Probably
same one.
not. I don't know.
Okay, well, I guess mine are more nosy than yours.
Yeah, so, but Abby would get in a lot of trouble if she was caught with that stationery pad with the doctor's name on it.
Yeah, and then don't you think the doctor would get in trouble for her having it?
Yeah.
Even though she stole it?
Yeah.
Because then the office would get in trouble for the fact that a patient was able to take that?
Yep.
Like, how was she able to get that from them?
I'm just thinking like she saw the doctor, he had it with him, left it on a counter in the room or something, and then walked out, and that's when she grabbed it.
Well, then that's not a smart doctor.
I know.
They're supposed to like carry it in their pocket or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
Or have it at the counter where you write it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what they're supposed to do? Write it like at the counter?
I don't know. All doctors are different. They usually just like write whatever they need to right there and then give you the paper and then walk out with the pad. So I don't know how that happened with her doctor, but
Again, that's not real. That would not, I don't think that would happen.
yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
At least with the good doctors, that would not happen.
Yep.
So it doesn't add up, but all right, it only adds up for the storyline
Mm-hmm.
for her to sit there.
Yep. They begin talking about the clubs Jen got into when she lived in New York, and Abby wants to move there after high school.
Of course, Abby does.
Yeah.
I could see Abby in New York.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I can't see her in a small town.
Right. Yeah, so she specifically wants to know about the guys there.
Of course she does.
Mm-hmm. Now,
And of course she goes to the right person for it.
yep. Now this is another different kind of scene. Dawson and Joey are at Joey's house for the first time hanging out now.
Yeah, and where are they, Cynthia?
They're on her bed, so it looks like she finally got her own room
No,
again.
it looked like the damn couch.
Oh, was it like a pull-out couch, maybe?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
that's what it looked like.
Okay, I didn't
Because
notice.
like the door was right there.
Okay, yeah.
So it looks like it's a pull-out, and she's
Right.
still in the living room.
It's just because, like, I remember the episode when they brought her home drunk, like, the couch seemed further away from the nursery. While in this episode, it's, like, right outside the nursery.
Well, she has to get up and walk over to the door to get into the nursery.
Right, it just before it seemed like it was farther away before.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
also, it was close to the front door.
Okay.
Because Dawson, remember, he just gets up and walks out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And so the front door is right there.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about the nursery door.
Oh, well, I saw him out the front.
Okay.
No,
Either
like,
way.
because the front door is right there when he walks out.
Okay,
He doesn't
yeah.
have to walk out of a room to get outside.
Right.
He just walks out the front door,
True, yeah.
which he got off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Which, poor Joey, she got kicked to the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, especially back then, pull-out couches were not comfortable.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, if you had to sleep on it for a couple days, it was like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
like your back would hurt.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you finally got to get in your own bed. But think if you had to, like, sleep on it
Right.
for years.
I know.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Well, and then, okay, if somebody comes over, sorry, Joey, you got to get up and move your bed so that we can sit down.
Right.
That's messed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're talking when Dawson says he knows everything about Joey, so it's perfect and they don't have to spend time in the getting to know each other stage. Joey says he's wrong. There's a lot of things he doesn't know about her. And they share a kiss until baby Alexander wakes up from his nap and starts crying in the other room. So while Joey goes into the nursery to calm the baby down, Dawson looks around her room until he sees her diary on the bed.
Living room.
Oh, yeah. In the living room, yeah. He picks it up and opens it to a random page, it seems like. Now, we don't know exactly what he's reading in this moment, but by his face, it wasn't good. So when she comes back after taking care of the baby, Dawson...
No, I got to go.
Yeah, Dawson gets up as soon as she falls back onto the couch. Joey asks what's wrong. She thought he had a lot of reading to do, but he says he had enough reading today and leaves. Joey's left on her couch/bed, puzzled on what just happened. But by what his response was, you think that she would like notice
Look
her diary.
around at
Yeah.
what he may have seen.
Yeah, notice her diary right there and put the dots together. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you know, at the very beginning, at the start of the episode, we saw his parents freaking out over them being together,
Mm-hmm.
of what might happen.
Yeah.
So why would they let Dawson go to her house knowing there is no supervision?
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they probably didn't know. They probably thought that Bess was there. So, and they didn't
Okay,
like,
you
bother
really
to
think
check.
they know that Joey probably does not have supervision? That's why she's always at their house.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so, because there's no like adult watching her. So, why would they let Dawson go over there?
I don't know.
Like, my parents would never do that. They'd be like, no, you have to, you guys have to come here
Mm-hmm.
so we can watch you.
Right.
It would never be, you can go over there with nobody watching.
Right.
No.
Yeah, because like even my parents, there was one time they went somewhere, so I was at my house with I think I was like 14 and he was 13, and we were at the house together alone, and then the power went out, so we were in the dark as well, and my parents were worried something was going to happen. when we were alone. I'm like, what? But like,
Well, and you're like, don't you trust me?
yeah, and like they weren't even gone for that long, but like, so I'm just saying, like, even they were worried. But
Yeah.
like Dawson's parents, you know,
The good parents are the apparently clueless.
mhm.
That's what I don't understand. You were just flipping out and giving Joey a book to read. And then now, oh yeah, Dawson can just go to Joey's house. First of all, Dawson never goes to Joey's house.
Mhm.
He's only going there to avoid his parents.
Yep.
So wouldn't you say after school, remember, you got to come home. And, Mitch doesn't have a job, so he'll know exactly where you're at. That's the other thing. He doesn't work, Mitch.
Right.
So he would know Dawson isn't home. He doesn't have anything to do after school. So he knows what time he comes home.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't,
yeah.
okay, so like if you were the parent not working, wouldn't you go to Joey's house?
Well,
You'd be like, Dawson, where are you?
I would probably call at least. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Because they are never at Joey's house. Now they are, but it's also the same episode that his parents are flipping out.
Mhm. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of thought put into this episode.
No.
So back at school, Dawson finds Pacey handing out flyers for his birthday party. Dawson again ignores what's going on with Pacey and starts quoting Joey's diary. Pacey said,
Oh my God, he's such an idiot.
yeah, Pacey says, so, because she could say a lot worse and that nobody cares about Dawson's life because it isn't that interesting, and he's sick of hearing about his relationship with Joey all the time and just to get over himself. He storms off, and now Dawson is the one left puzzled.
100% agree with Pacey.
Me too.
I don't think anything he said was bad.
Right.
He was only stating the truth because all Dawson does is go on and on and on. Well, guess what? Other people have problems too.
Yep.
So think of other people, Dawson.
Yep.
And also, season 1, they had brought up, in a couple episodes, how Joey and Pacey were friends. And now this one, the only one that said happy birthday is Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Because his so-called friend Dawson hasn't said happy birthday. Well, either is Joey.
Right.
And so I guess this episode, they're not friends.
Yep.
That's why I said they have a friend problem on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode, they don't know who's friends and who's not friends on this show.
Right. Yeah, because ever since Pacey kissed Joey, like, it just kind of stopped there with them, like, storyline-wise. And, like, they just kind of, like, had them go off and have other storylines with other people.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because, again, all three of them grew up together is what they're kind of claiming.
Yeah.
And if that's the truth, Joey would know that it was Pacey's birthday, too, even if she wasn't friends with him. But since they had claimed they were friends in the last season, it doesn't add up again because it's only about Dawson not remembering when Joey didn't remember either.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there you go. I will give it to both of them that they're both wrong. See, I'm not just hating on one.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you should be happy.
Yeah, I am. So Joey's walking out of the school building where Andy walks up to her, introduces herself, and puts in a good word in for her brother Jack to work at the ice house.
Well, and it was funny, too, because she goes up to Joey and says, I'm friends with Pacey. And she was like,
bold of you to
say that.
Yeah.
Or to admit that.
Yeah, that was funny, yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
Yeah, I mean, better to have Andy than nobody, you know.
But it was just funny because they were having that banter the last episode, Andy and Pacey. And then, I'm friends with Pacey. I'm like, does Pacey know you guys are friends?
Right. Joey accepts this and tell her brother to come by the restaurant and ask for her. A little later, Joey's walking when Dawson catches up to her. He begins talking about his latest film, the film that we never even saw finished, or if it won the festival.
I was just going to bring that to you. Wasn't it supposed to go to some festival thing?
Yeah. And then he was helping with the film classes one too, and that never went anywhere.
It was one episode. It was a one episode wonder.
Yeah, they just dropped it. So it's kind of surprising that he brought it up again, but it was to kind of lead
that's
in.
What it was. The diary.
Yeah, leading in.
About, yeah. Yes. But yeah, it is weird how it's never talked about again, except for now, but only because she wrote something bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so he begins talking about his latest film and how Joey did a great job in it, and she thought so too. He then asks what she thought of the movie, and she says it was amazing. He doesn't believe in this answer and responds with, he hopes that she thinks he has a potential talent in filmmaking. She catches on that he read her diary. She goes off on him about invading her privacy, as she should, because he deserves it. His excuse for reading it is that she left it out for him to read it, which makes it sound even worse because
Okay.
he's trying to blame her and have it be her fault.
And also, she had it sitting there, yes, but it wasn't open where you would look over and read it.
Yeah.
She didn't have it open. It was just sitting there.
Yeah.
As a book, so don't read it.
Right.
You had to pick it up and open up the page to read it.
Right.
And also, I loved when she said, I could sue you for this. I'm like, girl, you need to sue him for that. I want someone to sue him.
Yeah, like, did you have a diary?
No.
Oh, well, I hadn't. I don't remember when I started specifically.
I think I did, like, when I was, like, little.
Yeah.
Like, elementary, but, you know.
Yeah, I think I started mine when I was, like, 12 or 13 until I was 16. And then after that, I just got tired of writing it in every single day. And then there were just too many things I didn't want to remember anyhow. But I did have some that had the little lock and key on them.
Did anybody break it?
No, but I was thinking that's what Joey should have had on hers. Because if it was locked, Dawson couldn't have opened it.
Did they have that back in the 90s?
Yeah. It's just like the little silver keys and metal lock. Yeah.
Well, you were like 2 when this was out, so I didn't know if they had it back then.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. It was a thing in like.
Because if you were 12, you know, that'd be in the 2000s.
Right. I don't know. I feel like they should have. Because like in the 2000s too, that's when they kind of like had those like voice activated ones. Like I had one of those too. Like it wouldn't open until it heard your voice.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
See, I didn't have it.
Yeah. It was like journal something. But yeah, it was like
I guess I didn't have thoughts.
Yeah. I can show you it later, but I thought it was cool.
I mean, I had like a journal of like what I did in like summer vacation, but that was it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, even if she wrote something bad about him, it doesn't mean that's what she really feels about the next day.
Right.
And also, so a week later, she changes her mind. She's supposed to go back in and cross it all out. It's what she meant that day.
Right.
It doesn't mean what she really thinks. It just meant that in that moment. And again, she probably forgot she even wrote that.
Right.
And moved on to the next week or whatever. So he can't take everything so personal. Oh my gosh.
Right.
And also, you wouldn't have known about this if you didn't read the diary, Mr. Nosy.
So he just goes on how he's curious as to what else is in her journal that she doesn't want him to see, and what she really thinks of him. She tells him that he really
you don't want to know what I really think.
Exactly, and that's the same thing she told her dad too when she went to go visit him. You know.
Yeah, but then they made up that whole episode.
Yeah. So she storms off mad, as she should. Now Mitch is visiting a childhood friend at work and tells his friend this location he's looking into.
See, Mitch, it doesn't work. He's just visiting friends while they're at work.
Yeah. But he's telling his friend that he's looking into opening a restaurant somewhere, which is random because we've never seen him cook or anything.
Or work.
Yeah.
Like, what would he do there?
Yeah.
We didn't really know he has any hobby. Like, he doesn't have a hobby of cooking or in business or anything. So what is his interest? And all of a sudden it's going to be a restaurant?
I guess. Yeah.
The writing on this.
His friend knows there's more to what's on Mitch's mind, while Mrs. Ryan visits Gail to give back an empty dish that Gail sent her after her husband passed. So maybe Mitch made that dish for her? I don't know. We don't know. Gail gathers the courage to ask Miss Ryan for some relationship advice, while Mitch's friend also gives some relationship advice, saying he must avoid divorce at all costs. Mitch confesses that he thinks Gail wouldn't mind it if he had an affair to let her off the hook. His friend says, why not? Mitch replies that he can't because he's married. And then back with Gail and Mrs. Ryan. Mrs. Ryan says she must do whatever it takes to save her marriage. Now, Gail is a little TMI with this because she tells her what she's done, including maxing out her Victoria's Secret credit card. And it was
I know, like, Graham's is already judgmental of your family.
Yeah.
And then you go and say that?
Yeah.
And also, the friend told Mitch, you don't want a divorce. Avoid that at all costs because you don't want to be a weekend dad to Dawson.
Yep.
But if he's the caretaker of Dawson, wouldn't he get
custody?
Yeah. And she'd be the weekend?
Maybe, yeah.
Because he's with Dawson?
Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah. Well, maybe...
So that... Because think about it. If the wife is the stay-at-home mom, she would most likely get custody. And then the dad would be the weekend dad. But if Mitch is the one taking care of Dawson, he would, I would think, get custody.
Even though he's not working to make an income to
Well, she'd
provide
have to
for
give
Dawson?
alimony and child support.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, think about it. Stay-at-home moms, if they
Mhm.
get divorced,
Yeah.
they're not working,
Mm-hmm.
but they still get the money from the dad.
Maybe, yeah.
So it's the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, yeah. That makes sense.
So I just didn't think it made any sense that he'd be the weekend dad.
Right.
I'm like, well then he would have no authority then, Dawson, because Mitch would never see him.
Mm-hmm.
And Gail's always working late.
Yep. So Mrs. Ryan was actually thinking about, was suggesting to Gail about her and Mitch renewing their marriage vows to fix things.
Okay, do you really think that would work?
No.
Because again, words,
Would just be words.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want action. I want to see something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise words mean nothing to me
Yep.
unless I see it.
Yep.
So renewing your vows would just be more money because you got to pay someone.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's not going to fix it. What's
Right.
going to fix it is trying to build your trust back. That's the one thing that's going to, again, you can't just renew vows because you can say something today and mean something tomorrow.
Yep. So while Mrs. Ryan gives that advice, Mitch's friend pushes Mitch to have an open marriage and tells him having an open marriage is what helped him and his wife, which I don't think is a good idea.
No, because what if you like the other people that you're dating?
Yep.
Or what if you can't find someone but your spouse is having fun with all kinds of people?
Mm-hmm. So back at school, Andy and Pacey are talking about his party. Pacey says she's not invited.
Well, didn't he put the flyer on her car? And that's how she found the flyer?
I don't remember that.
Because I think she was getting her in her car, or she was in her car, and she got out of it because he was putting the flyers on everyone's cars.
Maybe he wasn't paying attention to.
And then he took the flyer from her because she read it.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, you're not invited."
Yeah, maybe he was just like trying to get through it and wasn't paying attention to where he was
Who was
putting
in the car?
exactly. Yeah.
But I was just like, you put it on her car, though. Like,
Yeah.
so she is invited.
Yeah. So yeah, it just looks like he's still mad about the heart stripe thing that she pulled on him before.
Well, and little does he know, Andy said that they were friends.
Mm-hmm. So then at Jen's house, Abby is there with her, where she suggests that her and Jen have a little fun and go to Pacey's party and drink the champagne Abby stole. We don't know where, but wait, did she say where? She got the champagne?
I don't remember, but how in the world did she get alcohol?
I don't know. She's Abby. She can do a lot, apparently.
Like make up conditions
Yeah, make it that bad. Yep. So
and
she's just-
steal
yeah.
and lie and anything and not get in any kind of trouble. Huh.
Yep.
Nobody gets in trouble in this show.
I know.
That's what I'm realizing.
Mm-hmm. At the ice house, Dawson is following Joey around while she's working and apologizing for reading her journal.
You can clearly see she's busy and irritated with you.
Yep. Worst
So
timing.
stop it.
Yep.
And again, nobody works there because Joey's always stressed of having all the work on her.
Yep.
Like, where's her sister?
I know.
Because just the last scene, she was watching the baby and now she's at work. Does her sister forget she's in high school?
I guess so. Yeah.
Here, you need to take care of my baby. You need to work. Okay.
Yeah, it's way too much.
Plus, also, make sure you get A's so that you can get a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure on her.
Yep. So Dawson asked Joey if she ever snooped through his things while she was in his room, and she said no, of course not, because she respects his privacy. Joey is still trying to get it through his head about the important issue is that he invaded her privacy, not what she wrote about him.
Exactly. I 100% agree.
Me too.
Don't you?
Yeah. During their conversation, Annie's brother shows up and asks Joey about a job. But Joey's too caught up in work and Dawson in the moment, she completely forgot about Jack coming in. He mentions
Do you really think she paid attention to when Andy was talking?
halfway, maybe.
Because it just seemed like she just blinked on the whole, even who's Andy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he mentions what Annie told him about the job, and then it finally jogs Joey's memory. She tells him to go wash dishes. So then now Dawson admits what he did was wrong, but she lied to him about the filmmaking.
Oh, and did you see Dawson's face when Jack walks up?
Not really.
He was like irritated that Jack was talking to
Interrupting.
Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, Dawson, go away. She's at work.
Yeah. Yeah, but Dawson gets more frustrated, and he's actually yelling now.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. What do you got to say about that, Cynthia?
The fact that she was at work, just the whole thing, it was really inappropriate timing.
Yeah. Okay. So they're in
Public.
So they're in public, and they're at her restaurant, her family's restaurant.
Yep.
And so it's a business. So you don't go and make a public scene, because then people, customers are going to see that. Then they're not going to come back.
Exactly.
So good job, Dawson. You might be losing business for her family
Yep.
that can't afford her to go to college. Great job, Dawson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he asks if she was ever going to tell him, but Jack comes back to tell Joey that Bess doesn't know Joey gave him a job, so she won't let him in the kitchen.
Well, she forgot she even gave him a job.
Yeah, I thought that was
so
funny.
how is she going to tell Bess when she didn't even remember?
Yeah, I thought that was funny how he just came back and like, your sister won't let me in the kitchen.
Yeah, she doesn't know I work here.
Yeah, that was funny.
It's like Joey didn't know either. And Dawson's like looking again. Like, I think he wanted to be like, go away, or trying to have a conversation. But it's like, Dawson, Joey doesn't even want to have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
So you go away.
Yeah, so Dawson says he's glad that he read it because now he feels like he never knew her. And Joey says maybe he doesn't. Maybe he never did. And she walks off to get back to work.
Again, he's so dramatic.
Yep.
I can't take it.
I know, neither. Now at Pacey's party, Andy does end up showing up and says...
Well, of course she does. Remember, they're friends.
Yeah, and says how nervous talking to new people makes her feel. Same. Pacey points out she's done nothing but talk to him since they met.
Well, and then it was, yes.
And she says talking to him doesn't make her nervous.
She says, well, you don't make me nervous. You make me mad.
Yep, and Mad beats nervous.
And he was like, man, I wish I made you nervous.
Mm-hmm. That was funny. He spots his crush Christy nearby, and Andy pushes Pacey to go talk to her. Since she's a senior and Pacey's a sophomore, and he says that some older women like younger men. And of course, this makes Pacey laugh as an inside joke to himself, and also makes him more nervous at the same time. And he picks on him after saying he has dignity, face to lose, and she tells him it's not like he had any of those to begin with. But Pacey makes his way over to Christy and chickens out the last second. He walks around and is ignored by some girls and gets a drink spilled on his shirt. Poor guy. And then finally Dawson shows up. I don't think he knows exactly what he's showing up to, but...
No, he just saw the flyer because he's clueless.
Now Abby's the only one to spot him arrive. So she tricks Jen and dares her to kiss the next guy she sees, knowing it's going to be Dawson. But Jen is so drunk from the champagne, she even fell down. But Abby stole champagne. You know what I mean? So Jen isn't really thinking clearly. So when she kisses Dawson, he pushes her off and asks what's wrong with her. She gets embarrassed and walks off. Abby shoves Dawson and says, nice going, Romeo. Dawson walks away from Abby afterwards. So now Jen has kissed Dawson twice without Joey knowing.
Mm-hmm. And did Dawson tell Joey?
Nope.
Yeah, what a good boyfriend he is.
Mm-hmm. Back at the ice house, Jack is staring at Joey while they're cleaning. Joey notices and asks, what? He says nothing, but then goes on to talk about her first fight with Dawson. She confesses it was their first fight as a couple, but they fought a lot as friends, which really isn't even good at that start. You know, if you're already fighting as friends, it just doesn't make sense.
You're not going to make it as a couple, so just stay friends.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think that's why I didn't like Dawson and Joey together, is because it started out rocky, and it only got worse, it felt like.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I wasn't a fan. Because I was, like you, I wanted what she wanted. She wanted Dawson, so I wanted to root for them.
Mm-hmm.
But, then he does this, and you're like, never mind. Go find someone else.
Right. And then Jack points out that means that they haven't had their first makeup as a couple yet.
And she smiles.
Yep. Jack volunteers to close, but Joey says Bess would get mad for him.
Wait, isn't his first date and he's going to close?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bess would get mad at him for being new and all. But he convinces her to let him do it, and as she's walking away, we can hear some dishes drop to the floor and break.
And then she's like, oh, should I go? All right, I'll go.
Yeah, this makes...
Like I didn't hear a thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, so she stops in her tracks for a moment, but then keeps going as in, like, I'll deal with that tomorrow.
Or I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Back at the party, Dawson is trying to figure out why Pacey is so mad, and they know everything about each other, and he really needs advice about Joey. Pacey goes off about things Dawson doesn't know about, and ends with, I bet you don't even know when I was born. This makes it click in Dawson's head and finally realize what today is. Pacey feels like everyone has written him off. Even his best friend looks at him the same way his family does. Not worth their time and concern. He starts walking away and Dawson asks what he can do to fix this. Pacey says their friendship is nothing compared to what Dawson has with Joey. And being a third wheel doesn't really work for Pacey. He finally walks away, leaving Dawson stressed.
Ugh, Dawson stressed. Oh my God. He should have remembered his best friend's birthday.
I know.
Like, how long have you known him? Isn't it been like since you were little?
Yeah.
You should.
Totally.
Yeah, and you always remembered his birthday until now?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
We're at Dawson's house with his parents, where Mitch gets fed up with Gail trying to be intimate with him. So she has a conversation.
See, he has an issue and they need to work on it.
Yep. And he brings this up, saying that about the honesty and exploring some new possibilities and reclaim honesty by having an open marriage. Somehow he thinks that makes sense, but
Well, I mean, his friend did say it worked for him, so that's what he's going off of.
yeah. But hearing this, she instantly tears up, but we go to the next scene before she says anything. We move ahead to see Joey and Dawson looking at each other from across the boardwalk. It's supposed to be like a kind of a romantic
Yeah, like
reunion.
a movie, and I was not into it.
Yeah, so it's raining lightly as they walk toward each other, smiling. And then after the slow-mo walk, did you notice it was like all slow?
Yeah, like a movie, and
Yeah.
were you here for it?
No.
Me either. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, they finally hold each other for a moment before looking up at the sky as the rain comes down on them. Later, they're sitting down while Dawson tells Joey how he messed things up with Pacey before admitting he might be the worst filmmaker. And that one day people will be lined
You're
up.
the worst filmmaker and the worst friend and boyfriend.
Yep. And he says one day people will be lined up from here to Hollywood to tell him about that he's really bad at making films, and he never thought Joey would be one of them. Joey goes on to say that she's not going to let him off the hook for what he did by going inside her head and taking her thoughts and feelings without her consent. Joey says he knows and he's sorry that he read them. Joey says she doesn't owe him an explanation, but she does owe him the truth. She says that she's had feelings for him for so long that she would get so mad at everything and take that anger out somewhere else to release it. It's her way of coping to trash life, so it's not necessarily the truth. It's how she's feeling in that moment. She said she saves the truth for him and that she's always believed in him and how he's the most extraordinary, talented person she's ever met. She's his biggest fan, which I thought was really sweet of her to say, you know. Dawson said he's glad that he doesn't know everything about her because every day she amazes him. They have a moment here where she says good and they kiss.
Okay, and so she says, before she starts talking, she says that she's not going to let him off the hook for this.
Mm-hmm.
But she does.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you off the hook, but really I am.
Right, yeah. So somewhere nearby, Jen and Abby are sick after drinking too much.
So how long have Dawson and Joey started, like, how long have they been together? A couple of days. And he's already read her diary?
Yeah, that's a rough start.
Already?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, what else is he going to do?
I know. So somewhere nearby, Jen and Abby are sick after drinking too much champagne. Abby points out that Dawson and Joey won't be the poster couple for abstinence much longer. Jen doesn't believe it because Joey won't put out and Dawson will get tired of it. And that's really bold of her to say when she was the one that didn't want to sleep with Dawson.
I know, she was the one that was doing what she's saying Joey's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Dawson she wouldn't even kiss Dawson when he wanted to kiss her. She was like, no, we have time for that. And it's like, what? It's just a kiss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Abby says, yeah, right, that's not true with them spending all those years sleeping in the same bed together. Now, how does she even know that?
I guess the whole school knows that because even that Warren guy knew, remember? That they were like really close.
Yeah. I just thought that was weird for her to
And
say.
also, I thought it was weird that Jen, what? Does she think that Joey's not going to put out, so he's going to run back to Jen? Because she will? Because she didn't when they were together. So what is she thinking in her head?
I don't know.
And see, that's the thing. Remember when even Jen was like, oh, Joey, we're friends. They're not. She's still going on about Dawson, even though she broke up with him. So it doesn't make any sense.
I know.
You broke up with him. You need to let him be with somebody else.
Exactly.
Someone who, likes him back.
Yep.
So let it go, Jen. You did the damage.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
Yep. And then Jen says that Dawson told her that he doesn't see Joey in a sexual way and that she's like a sister to him.
Okay, what? Months ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Jen.
And then Abby jokes that maybe they're pretending they're in Kentucky. Jen gets mad at this comment saying it doesn't help and that she wants Dawson back. Abby's response was funny because she said, God, why?
I know. I was like, okay, I didn't really like Abby in this episode, but I was like, you know what, Abby? You had the best. You had what I was thinking. Why? Because I've been asking that from the start. Why do all the girls want Dawson?
Yeah, me too.
I don't get it. And especially because Jen has been with like every other guy in New York.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go with Dawson? He's boring. And then she told Cliff that he was like had original ideas. What, go in the movie? That's original? Okay. But, because that's all he ever did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, what did they do that would make
Really.
her like him? And it's not like they were together that long.
Right.
So I don't know why she wants him back. There's so many guys at that school, it seems like. Go after one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or go after someone in the next town.
Right. Jen says she loves Dawson. Abby tries to tell her that
She
it's just
loves him
talking.
after, what, a couple months?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, again, we don't know how long they were together. If it was only a couple episodes.
Yeah. After seeing Jen was serious, Abby says she'll help her get him back. And then back at the pier, Andy finds Pacey alone, sitting down, so she joins him and tells him happy birthday. And she only knew about his birthday because she overheard his conversation.
With that other guy.
Yeah, with Dawson. So at the last minute, Andy decides to give him a present. She was going to give it to her brother, and it turns out to be a magic 8-ball. That's a throwback. Pacey asks if he will pass his next written driver's test. It says signs point to yes, and then he asks what his future is going to be like. The toy says cannot predict now. He gives Andy a magic 8-ball to try out, but it slips out of her hands and into the water. But, like, it was floating. Don't you think they could have, like, kind of grabbed it with, like, a net or something?
Okay, well, also, didn't the ball look heavy? It would have drowned in the water. Like if it was a heavy ball.
Yeah, well, I don't remember magic 8-balls.
I don't know. It looked like a heavy ball, and it looked like it should have drowned.
Yeah, well, it was floating in that scene, so I just thought they could have, like, grabbed it,
They
instead of just,
could
like,
have,
let it
but,
go.
then they probably would have fell in or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Or they didn't want the alligators after them.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so Pacey opens up about why he put together this party with people he doesn't know. It's because he thought that this was his way he could be the guy that throws a good party and, cool, but he's still the same Pacey who's still failing biology, and he is sweet now and says that maybe he's just Pacey the guy that's still trying to figure things out.
Well, and two, it also showed you that Pacey doesn't have any friends.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, he threw a party with people he doesn't even know.
Yep.
And he basically said, like, he was happy Andy was there because that was the only one he knows at the party.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also sad, too, because the only friend he has is Dawson. Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Sad. Seriously, if Dawson is your only friend,
Yeah.
that's gotta be hard.
Yep. So somewhere else, Joey and Dawson are kissing on a bench. Dawson pulls away to tell her that he has to go talk to Pacey. And then back to Jen. She's in her room after a long night and sees herself in the mirror. She instantly gets upset from seeing how much of a mess she looks. And it was probably like seeing herself as she was in New York.
A couple years ago, right?
Yeah. And then back to Dawson. He's now helping Pacey pick up trash from the party. And then Pacey was wearing that garbage bag over his clothes. So I was a little confused. I guess he was like trying to keep his clothes clean while he was cleaning up, I guess.
I
Do you think so?
I don't know. I thought that was weird too.
Yeah.
And also the scene when Dawson told Joey that he had to go talk to her, or he had to go talk to Pacey, because it was his birthday or whatever, that he missed it. Joey still didn't say happy birthday, and she did say, "Oh, is he okay?" But she still never told him happy birthday.
Right, yeah. So they're just not really friends at this point.
Again, not friends. Like, it just shows you it's off on this show.
Yep. Now, Dawson tells Pacey that things with Joey have been confusing and complicated, but there's no excuse for forgetting his birthday.
No, especially when you've known each other for like over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You should not miss his birthday.
Yep. But Pacey stops him because there's no need to explain because he forgives him. He's happy for Dawson being with Joey. And then Dawson says that no matter what happens, Pacey will always be his best friend.
The irony of this.
Yeah. He says this after...
All right, keep that in mind, Dawson.
Yep. He says this after Pacey tells him he's going to miss their friendship. Now, there's a pause and ends with Pacey asking if he and Dawson are having a moment, and they agree to go home because, talking about your feelings like this with another guy...
With your guys.
Yeah, it's not considered very manly, but that's just...
No.
Yeah, that's just toxic masculinity for ya. Dawson wants to help Pacey with his driving, so he tells him that he'll steal his dad's car keys to his dad's car so they can take that trip to Maine for his birthday, but what's in Maine?
Well, I don't know, but who's driving?
Pacey.
Pacey doesn't have his license. And also, doesn't Pacey need to take the road test because he'll fail that?
Yeah, but...
We all saw him drive.
Yeah, so Dawson just wants to help him practice more illegally, but...
But has Dawson even got behind the wheel?
No.
We've never seen it. So how do we know he's even a good driver? Does he have his license? I
No.
mean, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's why he said he'll steal his dad's car keys for Pacey to drive, not Dawson.
I know, but if Dawson doesn't even know how to drive, how's he going to help Pacey?
Just letting him have a vehicle to use, I guess.
All Pacey has to do is steal his family's.
I know, so there was no
because
point.
that's all he ever does.
Yeah, there was no point in
saying
Dawson
that.
saying that. Yeah. I don't know. That's
Oh
just what
my
happened.
God.
And again, we don't know why they want to go to Maine either, but Pacey says...
That's kind of mean, though. You said what's in Maine.
Well, they said going to... I'm like...
What if they said what's in our state?
Well, you know...
I'm sorry for the people that are Maine.
But they keep talking about going to Maine, but they don't say why they want to go for his birthday, you know?
The water.
I guess, yeah. But Pacey says Dawson doesn't have to do that, but Dawson wants to. The scene ends with them riding off on the motorboat together, where Dawson finally tells Pacey happy birthday, and that's the end.
And then that audio was so off.
Oh yeah, with the ADR.
Because Pacey's mouth was like not even open that wide to even be yelling all that.
Right.
And then even at one point, like one of their mouths were closed, but you could hear them talking still. It's like, yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah. So
But just pointing that out there.
Yeah. Is that what it's called? ADR? Yeah, ADR, automated dialogue replacement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they have to go into the booth or whatever. And
Yeah. Yes, it was just like too loud as well, so just really easily noticeable.
that's why I said it seemed like they were kind of like yelling it when their mouths were not even big enough to yell it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when they were talking, their mouths were mouthing something different, it seemed like.
Yeah. Yep. So that was the end of the episode. So, highs and lows, right?
Mm-hmm. So my high,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the little cute moment between Pacey and Andy.
Yeah, me too.
Because honestly, there was a lot of lows.
Yeah, that was the only good moment.
And the low, the rest of the episode. I mean, I didn't like the drunk Jen. I didn't like the whole Dawson and Joey. I didn't like the Gail and Mitch. So basically, the rest of the episode. What about you?
Yeah, same. Just a moment when Dawson basically read her diary without her knowing, and all the chaos that came with after that. Yeah, just really bad.
Did you like the whole Gail and Mitch
No.
and Jen and Abby?
No, I mean, I get why Jen was talking with Abby because she didn't really have anybody
She
either.
doesn't have friends.
Yeah.
The only friends she has is Dawson and Joey, and
Yeah.
she's not really friends with them.
Right.
Because like I said, she can't be friends with Dawson because she still has feelings for him.
Yeah.
And isn't it weird how with that episode with Cliff, she was with Cliff, but it's just so off. Like, wasn't she just dating Cliff? Now what happened?
Well, remember she ended things because he was trying too hard to be like Dawson.
Eh.
So just too much for her to handle after the Halloween, or not Halloween, Friday the 13th episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's just weird how he just randomly shows up.
Mm-hmm. And then I would probably rate this like a 6, maybe. What about you?
5.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there was stuff going on, but it was all sad stuff going on.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't really care for the Mitch and Gail. Like, I could have cut the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dawson, reading her diary and stuff.
Yep.
All right. So what is your best and worst character?
Well, the
This
worst
ought to be good.
the worst is Dawson.
Really?
Yes, for reading Joey's diary. And just to add to that, Abby was a close second because she was just a really bad influence on Jen.
I really thought you, my little Dawson lover, would have picked Abby over Dawson. But I'm not trying to convince you because I want you to pick Dawson. But
Right? No, yeah, Dawson was worse. And then my best would be Andy because she was the only one that was actually nice to Pacey in this episode with his birthday. What about you?
Well, that was surprising because just the last episode you said Andy was the worst. Some things I don't let slide.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joey letting Dawson slide with the whole reading the diary. Anyway, my worst was 1000% Dawson. He invaded Joey's privacy. And also, they just started dating. You need to build that trust before you ruin it. Now, how are you going to come back from that, Dawson?
I know.
And also, the best for me was Pacey.
Of course.
Well, you have to admit, you felt sorry for him.
Yeah, I did.
Think about it. He has no friends. He threw himself a party, which who knows how much that cost. And also, the only one that really truly showed up for him was Andy, who he doesn't even like. Remember? Because he was like, I can't. You just go talk to someone else.
Yeah.
So I felt really bad for him. He was the only good one in the episode.
True.
Think about it. Your best friend forgetting your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now.
I know. It really sucks.
So, yes, he is the best because he could have said a whole lot worse to Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't.
Yep.
So, you know what? I give him all the credit on that one.
Yep. There's just a lot of mistakes going on, but apparently it gets fixed a lot quicker than it would be in real life.
I know, because I feel like reading the diary, invading her personal space,
Mm-hmm.
that would have went on for a whole lot longer than 2 little seconds in the show.
Yeah.
Because by the end, we're kissing and making up.
Mm-hmm.
No, that should have went on for a little longer.
Yeah.
And I hope that they bring this up again. The whole he invaded her privacy.
Well, I wouldn't know, but you would because you've seen this before.
I forgot the whole Dawson scene. I don't listen to a word Dawson says.
Okay, then we'll find out together then.
Yeah. I ignore everything he says or does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and what do you think because the title is Crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that was about now that we've talked about the episode?
I don't know. It sounds like a character would have to make a decision, but it's hard to tell which character that is. You'd think it'd be Dawson. I don't know if like Crossroads were like Joey and Pacey, like which person does he like give his time and attention to maybe, and he's either the girlfriend over the best friend at the
but
worst
isn't
possible
Joey
moment.
his best friend too?
Yeah, I don't know. That's complicated too. Like they're both his best friends, but for different reasons in different ways.
In certain episodes, he says, "You're my best friend" to one of them, and then the next one, "Well, you're my best friend." Well, which one is your best friend?
I think they both are in different
Because
ways.
now Joey's your girlfriend,
Mhm.
but not your best friend. But really, Pacey's your best friend. I can't keep up. I feel like you need a little chart of like who's friends with who in each
Mhm.
in each scenario, because I can't get it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And it could be also the Crossroads could be Mitch and Gail, because you don't know what's going to happen with them,
Right.
what road they're going to take.
Mhm.
Because now they remember they kind of came up with 2 different options, remember?
Yep. Divorce or open marriage.
Right. So which one are they going to take?
Yep. Well, we'll find out.
Yep. All right. And so what is the next episode?
Episode 3, alternate lifestyles.
All right. Sounds interesting.
Yep. So thanks for listening.
All right, you guys. Have a great day.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about this episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter at duochatpodcast and give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.